Hello, everybody. Good morning, and welcome to another edition of Tuesday at 10. Thank you all for taking time out of your busy schedule to join us. We got some great folks here in the room today, and hopefully another couple pop in as we're going along. But let's go ahead and get started with some good stuff going on. What do y'all have going? How's business? How's life? I think we're celebrating some birthdays. I know Elizabeth's husband just celebrated his birthday, and so those are always cause for celebration. So Daniel, how are things going in your neck of the woods? What's the latest? Any challenges? Any wins? Any good stuff? Rough stuff? What do you got going on?
Have some closings this week. About to go pick up a sign and lockbox for one of the listings that we have that's going under contract. That's where I'm heading today in a little bit. Um, but yeah, can't complain. I have a couple buyers that are getting warmed up, so hopefully we can get another contract going sooner than later. But yeah, everything's going well. How about with you?
Things are going good. I think my camera's a little out of focus. Let's see if it sharpens up here a little bit. But anyway, Josie, how are things going in your neck of the woods? And I know you're off to a new endeavor. So you want to tell us a little bit about that and tell us about your journeys and how things are going.
Yeah, no, things are good. Let's see here. What was that? Do you guys hear that noise? Sorry, it just may be in my headphones. Sorry. Um, no, things are good. So last week, EXP Corporate reached out to ask if I was interested in helping them out with recruiting again. They are building back their employee space. So it's really good. So I've taken on a temporary position with them, helping them out for the next 2 months, back in recruiting, in HR recruiting. So that's the bread and butter. So that's good. So actually my first day is today, but they're still getting a lot of my systems set up. So that's why I'm able to join you right now. But no, other than that, on the EXP corporate side of things are good. Things are looking great. The Property Hermanos team is kicking ass. They have a lot of contracts on the board. I think 2 closings today, which is awesome. So on the TC side of stuff, they've really been keeping me busy and grateful for all the work. And these deals have not been easy as of recent. So it's been a big learning opportunity, both on an agent side, wearing an agent hat and a TC hat. So things have been good. Glad to get them closing and moving on.
Good, good. Awesome. And Liz, how are things going in your neck of the woods? I know you're doing some home projects and stuff today, but I think you have some good stuff going on. Tell us a little bit about it.
Yeah, I had a couple of recent closings. One of them was very, very smooth, and the other one made up for the smooth one. It got too rocky, but we got through it. Um, Buyers happy, sellers happy for the other transaction. Um, One of our colleagues with EXP held an open house at one of my listings on Sunday and had 12 families come in.
Wow,
So people
fantastic.
are out shopping. It was a Sunday afternoon, 1 to 4 time frame, and um, got quite a bit of people walking through in there, and she got face to face with people. So that's the easiest way to get face to face with people, in my opinion, is the open house. I will have some questions later on. I don't know if you guys saw some notice about the signs that we are now not able to put out anymore. So we'll see how that pans out. I have 3 other buyers warming up right now as well. So between now and June time frame, they'll be making decisions um, and I have agreements signed with all of them. So they're just warming up. They are not. They're the kind that are not in a rush. But most people say that they're like, well, I'm not really in a hurry, and then they want to rush. So it's okay. They get excited, and that's the fun part about home buying. So that's kind of what I have going on right now. It's
Well,
been
that's
okay.
awesome. That's awesome. Well, Oh, okay, we have Jennifer's popping in here. Cool. So good. Well, Jennifer, you're just in time. We're just going through some welcome to the meeting. Thank you for tuning in. And we're just talking about some stuff going on, going over some wins, going over some activity in your neck of the woods. So whenever you're ready, how are things going with you? Thanks for popping in. Tell us a little bit about
Things are going well-ish. I have
it.
I have one contract that is supposed to close on the 21st, and that seems to be going well. And then I have another one supposed to close in May the 14th, and that one has hit some snags, but that's not unusual, I'm learning. So that one's the one with the septic. So learning new things. That's good. It's always good. The seller agent is doing his job, but protecting his people, which is good. But he's a little difficult to work with. He doesn't listen. So I'm working with that just to be real patient and repeat what I have to say and then back it up with an email or writing because he struggles with hearing what I'm saying.
Sure, sure. Well,
So,
great. Well, that's awesome. So two active contracts. That's exciting. And
mhm.
navigating the perils of the contracts, that's always the fun part. We always tell agents that getting an executed contract, that's just the first step.
Yeah.
The first step in a long journey. So,
Yeah.
as much as we love celebrating getting them under contract, we celebrate closing them because getting them under contract is just the beginning. So,
Right.
and yeah, and it goes back to that story we tell people all the time that we're like an airplane pilot, and we're taking off from one airport trying to get to our destination. We're going to hit some turbulence along the way, but we're going to land the plane. So
Right.
don't be afraid of those little issues. They're going to come up. There's more and more that are going to come up. I was going to talk about issues that we have going on today. Daniel and I have closings today, and we're fighting like heck, even right now on the day of closing,
Oh,
because lender doesn't have what they need, title doesn't have what they need, buyer doesn't have what they need. And the funny thing is none of this has anything to do with us. But
right.
but in real estate, just like in anything else, nothing moves unless it's nudged. So we're the nudgers. And
Yes.
I'm calling title, I'm calling the lender, I'm calling the buyer. So now I know the buyer needs info from his insurance company. Of course, the lender can't call the insurance company, the title company can't call the insurance company, the buyer's got to call them. So I'm over here,
Right.
hey, Mr. Buyer, you need to update your insurance information. We can't balance, you can't get your cash to close, and you're supposed to
Mhm.
close in 5 hours.
Oh God.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like, oh my gosh. So anyway, there we're that's the norm, right? It's the nature of the beast. So
And of course, we're not notified until the 11th hour of all this stuff.
right, always.
Is
Right.
for homeowners?
What's that is?
Is that for homeowners insurance?
Homeowners insurance, right? And
Mhm.
and here's the funniest part about this whole thing is this particular transaction is actually closing early.
Oh.
We got the clear to close. So right away, everyone, oh, well, let's close it. Lender wants to close it. Title wants to close it. Buyer wants to close it. We get the clear to close. And now, even though we're literally 7 days early in the closing, now we're scrambling because it's like, you know, if we're changing the closing date, then we need to, and here's the issue with the insurance, the buyer needs to change the effective date of his insurance coverage. So they can't balance the figures without the updated date if we're closing today, which the insurance company didn't have. So now the buyer's got to get them that, and then the insurance company has to update the binder, and then they got to get it to the lender, and then the lender has to get that closing disclosure to the title company, and then they have to balance, and then they'll give them the cash to close. Crazy, crazy. One little snag in the wheel causes a domino effect. So, but we'll get there.
But of all problems, that's a good problem to have.
Of course, of course, of course.
Gotta look at it that way.
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, we're used to it. You know, I'm getting. You can see my gray hair has increased over the last few years, so that's part of the job, right? But anyway, does anyone else have any good stuff to add? I have a quick little training to run through that I think will help you guys in your lead gen efforts. But yeah, if y'all have anything else, or y'all want to jump into the training?
Go for it.
Let's do it. Okay, cool. So, and then Jennifer, I know you have some specific questions. Right after we finish this little quick training, we'll jump into your specific questions, and y'all stick around. It's a good learning experience to talk about these things, go over these questions, and we can all do it together. Okay, so with that being said, let me go ahead and share my screen here. All right, can y'all see my screen one here? Good?
Good for me.
Okay, so we're going to talk about 5 AI prompts to generate some leads. Leads is always the number one topic, especially we're talking to new agents, even established agents looking to grow a team. They want to increase their value proposition for agents on their team, or even if someone just wants a kickstart, we're always talking about generating leads. So, of course, you know, raise your hand who's utilizing AI as a companion in your real estate business today. We're using it. I'm using it like crazy, and I'm enjoying it. It helps with creativity. It helps spark ideas. It helps organize workflow. So I look at AI as almost like a personal assistant. So here's some AI prompts to help you generate leads. We all know what we're trying to do. So if you just get these ideas out, put your AI personal assistant to work, it'll really start sparking some ideas and hopefully sparking your inbox to get you some leads going on. So we're going to talk about 5 prompts. Here's one, the outreach machine. And I want y'all to think about these. I'm going to provide all these prompts in the comments when I share the video in the La Familia page. I'm going to provide all these prompts. That way you can copy and paste them, okay? Write me 5 cold outreach messages for, this could be for Facebook Messenger, it could be for Instagram, it could be for Threads, it could be for whatever you want, targeting what kind of buyer. If you're targeting a VA buyer, maybe targeting first-time buyers, maybe talking about downsized buyers, upsized buyers, whatever kind of buyer you want. Each must feel personal, reference a real pain point, and end with one question that gets a reply. Because that's the thing, is you want to spark that conversation, get people talking. Those conversations will hopefully result in real estate conversations, and then you can start generating those leads. Because really a lead is only a name and a phone number and someone looking for help solving a problem. So one message, infinite leads. Here's number 2, the dead lead resurrector. We all have a lot of leads that we've been working for a long time, or maybe from even a year ago, 2 months ago, 3 years ago. It doesn't matter. This can help you with that. I have leads who went cold after however long, say 3 months. Write 5 follow-ups to reopen the conversation without sounding desperate. Each one under 4 lines and each one different. This will help wake up your dead pipeline, dead per se, right? Try to get them back, try to get them engaged, try to get them to reply. And these resurrector messages will help do that. Number 3, the referral engine. Write a word-for-word message to send my last 10 closed clients. Your past deals are going to be your biggest advocates. Hopefully things went well. Hopefully they had a good experience, and hopefully they'll want to refer you as an agent. So use this. To send my last 10 closed clients that naturally ask for a referral without feeling transactional. Make it feel like a genuine check-in. Your best leads are already in your phone. Now, think about this. If you don't have 10 past clients, right? Talk about all you need to do is tweak this a little bit. Write a word for word message to send my 10 VIPs. If you don't have 10 past clients, think about your list and look at your 10. Who are your 10 VIPs? Meaning someone that you know, a friend of yours, someone from your school, from your children's school. Maybe you've had a conversation. Maybe you've talked about real estate a little bit. Maybe they're warm. Maybe they're cold. They can still be your VIP. Think about people who know other people, know a lot of people, have a large network. Those can be your VIPs, and you can substitute your last 10 closed clients for your last 10 VIP clients. Either way. Number 4, build me a 14-day outreach sequence for niche buyer. Again, this could be a first-time buyer, VA buyer, new home buyer across whatever platform. Make it for Gmail, make it for Instagram, make it for Twitter, make it for whatever you want. Give me the exact words for every single touch point, copy and paste, zero guesswork, 14 days, full pipeline. What does this all refer back to? This is outbound lead gen. This is active lead gen. This is not passive. So even getting in the trenches and doing these activities will result in leads. This is active lead generation. Number 5, buyer qualifier. Write me 5 questions to ask every new lead that instantly tells me if they're worth my time. Who in here has had some clients that they love to kick tires, they love to looky-loo, they want to buy, they don't know if they can. Maybe they say, I'm going to buy in 2028. You know what I mean? I had a client, I talked to him 2 days ago. They say, well, yeah, we want to buy in December. I said, well, then let's go shopping in October. You know, what's available in March is not going to be available in October. So let's talk in October, right? So 5 questions, see if they're worth my time. Make each question feel conversational, not like an interview. I want to know budget, urgency, decision power in under 3 minutes. Stop wasting time on the wrong people. We have to understand, yes, we're in the business to help people, but this is also our business. This is our livelihood. This is how we provide for ourselves and our family. So we have to look at what money-making activities we have. So those are the 5 prompts. I'm going to share the prompts. Y'all use whichever ones you want to put into play, or use all 5 of them. I'm telling you, the more activity that you have on outbound lead gen, the more leads you're going to generate. And that's for sure. So cool. Good stuff. Good stuff. You think these prompts will help you out? And you use them on ChatGPT, use them on Claude, use them on Gemini, use them on Grok, use whatever platform you're using. You're no matter what, you're going to get good information, and cross-reference both of them. See if you like the scripts a little bit more on one platform as opposed to the other. See which ones you like. So just to get a feel out there, what are some of the favorite things that y'all are using AI for in your business? Y'all chime in. Let us know. How are y'all using AI to help you guys further your business?
Or
Well,
social media content.
Believe it or not, I ask just random day-to-day questions, and if it involves a broker, I'm going to go to my broker. But, if there's just a simple question, I'm getting a lot of help that way, just day to day. But aside from that, ChatGPT or Claude help with every other thing in my life as well, fish medication, how to train my dog from pissing on my floor again,
I
but
love
no,
it.
my favorite prompt was getting some results for going to your past 10 clients, asking for referrals. I'm gonna do that. So I think that's, I mean, your training today was really thought-provoking on things we can do, to be proactive. So thank you for that.
For sure. And we love it. And Daniel and I, we fall victim to a lot of these things. Right away, we wake up every day and we think about, okay, we need new leads, new leads, new leads, new leads. And new leads are great. New leads are great for getting your pipeline moving, but some of your most valuable referral partners you've already worked with. We may have worked with them 2 years ago, 3 years ago, 5 years ago. So even using these things just to reignite these conversations, ask for the business. I mean, really, this could end up, yielding an extra 10 deals, 15 deals, 20 deals over the course of a year. You know what I mean? It could be massive. So the more you put in, the more active outreach you have, the better your results are going to be. So cool. Any other questions or any other input? How else are y'all using AI to help y'all with your business?
Video scripts, super helpful, or YouTube video scripts, or if you have an idea, or one of the easiest things, like if you want to keep your audience engaged with changes that are happening, but you really don't know how to explain it to somebody, you can just take the website article, put it in ChatGPT or Claude, and just say, create a script, a conversational script from this article that's easy to understand. And it'll create a whole script for you. And all you have to do is just record your video. And what do you know? You look like the expert. Who
Okay,
knew?
well, Josie hit on the most important piece of the whole thing. And that most important piece is you still have to do it. You still have to do it. And that's where things get hard. And the reason why it's hard is because it's easy. The easiest things in the world, they're also easy. If they're easy to do, they're also easy not to do.
You can make all the scripts in the world, but you still need to record the video.
Exactly.
You still need to post it.
Exactly.
You still need to put in the prompt. You still got to do it.
Right. So, AI is great, but the conversation always comes up, well, is AI going to replace people or replace agents? The truth is AI won't do anything without you telling it to do it. And it doesn't matter what you tell it to do. If you don't execute and follow through with those things, what good does it do anyway? It's very simple. It's one of those things. How many of you guys have signed up for an online course that teaches you something and then you don't open the course? I've done that many times. How many of you have signed up for a 30-day fitness challenge or 30-day fitness plan, and it tells you everything to do, every food, every meal? They give you a grocery list, they give you the workout plan, they give you everything for free. And how many times, or how many of us have gotten those things and maybe done one day and that's it? Okay, so the rubber meets the road somewhere. And it's the agents and the professionals that can take this information and implement it. So that's one of the big things. You got to still do it. Execution is key. And nobody can teach you that. Nobody can instill that in you. It has to come from inside you. It has to be a self-motivating thing, right? So cool. Any other questions? Any other comments? How else are y'all using it? Liz, you said you were using it. How are you using it?
Very similar to how Daniel, I just ask it random questions, and sometimes I ask it questions that I do know the answers to, just to test the credibility, because it is, I think everybody's excited about AI, and I think everybody's excited to, see what it can do, but it still takes a human behind it and to tell it what to do. So I just am learning it and having it learn me based on the questions that I'm asking it. And it's been interesting. It's been very helpful. But there are some questions that, they'd still, like I said, they do require a human being behind it, because some of them can be really off. And because I did see a post where someone said, I sold my house without a realtor. I simply used AI for all the things that I was not sure about. And of course, had a whole bunch of comments of realtors giving him scenarios of what are the things that can go wrong using AI. And so you had half of the people on board and the other half not on board, in the comment section, right? It's always just interesting to see what people think about using AI and a realtor in our world, in our realtor world. So yeah, I just intentionally ask it questions. Some I do not know the answers to, or halfway know the answers to, and then I end up getting locked in because it asks you, do you want to be specific in a certain, with a certain topic? And you keep drilling down and you keep learning more and more and more about that. And so that's very cool. I really like that, because otherwise it'd be just Googling and reading a very generic paragraph online or a generic article, and then that's it.
Yeah, and that's a good point. And I did read that article about that person that, they're making a big deal because they said they sold their house using AI instead of an agent. But here's the funny thing. People have been selling their houses without agents forever. This is not anything new. For sale by owners have been around since the beginning of time. And they were doing it without AI. So if anything, I would give them more credit, because there's nothing that says that a person can't sell a house by themselves. I mean, it's clickbait at its finest.
It is clickbait.
It is clickbait, 100%.
They
Person
had
sells
the
home, agents are not needed. Person sells home using ChatGPT. Big whoop. People
well, there
sell
was
their house without agents all the time, and they buy houses.
there was a post that had that news article that said, I sold my house without using an agent. I used just AI. And then right next to it was a completely opposite article that said, I used AI and I needed an agent. These are all the things that went wrong. So it's like a lot of these stories are just compiled for clickbait and to incite conversation or rage or whatever. But it was like two sides of the same coin posted right next to each other. It's like, oh, I did it without a realtor. I used AI. It was fantastic. I saved so much money. And then the other one was like, I used AI. I didn't use a realtor. It was a nightmare. I lost so much money. So it's all clickbait,
Yeah, y'all wanna talk about some clickbait? Who has read the article about the houses that are being printed on a 3D printer? There's a lot of them out there. Daniel, you want to live in a house built with a 3D printer?
If the price is right.
Right, yeah, sure. Well, the price is right, because it's a lot less expensive, right, than doing a stick build or something like that, or whatever. Hey, can you build a house with a 3D printer? Sure. Can you build a house with Adobe and sand? Sure. Can you build it with dirt and clay? Of course you can. Do you want to do it? Can you sell a house using AI as your Q&A assistant? Sure. You can also do it without AI. But what are you going to feel more comfortable doing? Putting $400,000 on the line as a buyer, or risking a huge transaction and all the liability that goes with it, relying on computer software? Or are you going to have someone in your corner with a brokerage behind them, with legal counsel behind the brokerage to be able to consult? There's way too many moving parts here. we're all real estate professionals here in the call. Do we have challenges? That's it. We've been doing this for a long time. We run into challenges every time, every day, with every transaction that we're struggling to navigate the waters. We need assistance. We need broker support. We need to team up and collaborate. So these are not sure. This goes back to another point. It goes back to think about the people that we help secure a mortgage loan. If you have a lender that has a buyer that's making $500,000 a year with an 800 credit score and no debt, is that an easy loan to do? Absolutely. Super easy.
I think it all boils down to the clients that are looking for us and that want to use our services are going to be who we will be working with. For
sure.
example, one of my great friends, he would drop dead before hiring anyone to service his pool every month. I tell him what I pay for my pool servicing, and he's just like, "You're crazy." I would always do it myself. I will always do it myself. And in my mind, I'd rather pay someone. But that guy would never be my target client if I owned a pool servicing company.
Right.
That personality wouldn't be my guy. It'll never happen. So the guy who used ChatGPT to sell his home, he's probably like my guy, like my good buddy, who would never hire someone to service and put chemicals and clean his pool.
Yeah, that's a
So
good
there's
analogy.
different kinds of people in the world, and you just got to find your people who want your services. So I wouldn't stress too much about what other people are doing, and like Alan said, for sale by owner has been around since the dawn of time. So
For sure. And it'll continue to be around. People will still do it. And we look at the numbers all the time, and it's well over 80 to 90% of for sale by owners end up listing with an agent anyway. So
I mean, I love a good Adobe home.
yeah, I mean you can build it out of sand and mud.
It's been working for indigenous tribes for centuries, thousands of years.
For sure.
You know?
For sure. Well,
If
cool,
I
guys.
can, if I can go off of what Daniel said and then kind of spin it back to the slideshow, that's what I'm trying to learn is like finding your people. And then the prompt that I liked in the slideshow was those questions to ask to be able to mitigate how serious of a interest you have, because I find that a little difficult still, because like you said, you don't want to sound like that's all you care about, or be abrasive, but at the same time there's so much time wasted with people who are just tire kickers or window shoppers or whatever term you want to put on it. um and our time is worth money, and our gas money, and all the things. I'm struggling right now with time management for myself, because I'm finding myself staying up till almost midnight working on things. Just when to say I need a clock in and when not to answer your phone. um it's a balance, and working on that.
Sure. And that's a forever challenge. We're being able to draw your boundaries, figure out when you're going to be working, when you're not going to be working. That's one of the pros and cons about being self-employed is you can work as little or as much as you want. So finding that balance. But what I would say up front is don't always think about just that one person, because real estate, I feel very, very sure, very confident that real estate is a cumulative process. So if you have one person that is really putting you through the ringer, putting you through your paces, of course, we're going to try to do everything we can to qualify them and make sure that they're ready, willing, and able. But a lot of times it's going to be front loaded. If you can show them good service and a good experience with good communication and availability, as soon as you start getting the notion that, hey, maybe this won't go anywhere right then and there or in the next 30, 60, 90 days, you can use that person as a referral source and say, hey, I know we've been shopping for a while, might not be the right time for you right now, but in the meantime, while we're getting everything ready, do you know anybody else that I could help right now? Anybody that you know that might be looking to buy or sell in the next 30 to 60 days? I'd love to work with some more good people. And, hopefully that person's a good person. You say, yeah, I'd love to work with more good people like you. Is there anybody that I can help? So you use it as a bit of a springboard, because it's not only about that one person, it's about all the people that they know as well. Josie and I were talking about this the other day. There was one lead that we helped, and first time buyer was a fairly difficult transaction. And from that difficulty, and it took a long time too, from that difficulty, there were 3, and now we're working on a 4th referral from that one person. So it's a cumulative thing, and it takes time. So don't get too bogged down or too discouraged if someone's really putting you through the gauntlet. And there's going to be a lot of times when Daniel has been through it, Josie's been through it, we've all been through it, where you might go 3 months, 4 months, 5 months, 6 months, and they don't buy, or they don't sell, or they pull the house off the market, or whatever the case is. And you just have to take those as they come, because they're going to come. And you take them as a learning experience. You have to add something in?
Yeah, one thing I would add is, I can't tell you how many times Alan and I and Josie and Liz, I'm sure, how many times we've shown buyers homes that quote unquote have wasted our time, or they ghost, a week later. But in my opinion, leads, they're kind of few and far between. So you got to just go for all of them, and go meet them at the home. Go have a conversation with them. If they don't buy now, they might buy in 6 months or 12 months or 18 months. But a quick sign that, kind of gauges their interest is if they're willing to get approved or not. So, if you start talking about financing and they start dancing around and they don't want to get approved, okay, well, there's your answer right there. Because a serious buyer is ready to get approved for that $300,000 loan. And then once they're approved, it's kind of in your ballpark to show them products that they like. But at that point, they're serious. And even at that stage, a lot of them still won't close, but you have to just try. You got to throw things at the wall and see what sticks. Because that's the business that we're in, and not every person that we're showing homes to is going to buy, and not every home that's under contract is going to close. But we have to try.
And you're right, Dan, 100%. And here's another thing that I like to look at is you can use every moment that you're out in the field, showing properties, going on appointments, previewing houses, whatever it is. Every moment that you're out in the field is an opportunity for you to generate content. Every single time. Whether it's a client that's a nightmare client or a client that's a joy to work with. If you're out in the field, and Daniel talks about this all the time, he helps agents, especially new agents. He says, if you're out in the field showing property, pull your phone out and take 3 clips, one of the front, one of the living room, one of the kitchen, especially if it's a nice property. And you can do a voiceover. Hey, I'm out here showing beautiful homes in Harlingen. It's a beautiful day. If you or anybody you know are looking to buy, call me. My number is below. So I try to think of every opportunity to generate a little piece of content to be able to share across channels, because the way I think about it, and Alfonso actually taught me this, Daniel, I don't even know if I've told you this, but every time that you post something, upload something, it's like putting a digital deposit in your bank account. Every time you can put up a video, put up a post, put up a story, you're making a little digital deposit into your digital footprint, right? Because people are watching you, especially as a new agent. People are watching you. And if you're not out there doing stuff, they're going to think that you're not in the business, or they're going to think that you're not very good. Either one. So, it's an opportunity. Every time you're out there, use it as an opportunity to make a digital deposit into your brand, into your business. And that's going to, so in essence, you're working on generating leads even when you're out there working leads. So think of it as an opportunity.
Yeah, and if someone wants to see a home, and this goes for, Alan and I do a lot of online marketing. So these are a lot of times they're cold leads. But if you go meet someone, it takes 10 minutes to show a home, maybe 7 minutes to show a home, maybe a 20-minute drive to and from. To me, it's worth the shot. It's worth the shot. And if they end up ghosting afterwards or they weren't serious, okay, that was an hour of my time. If they end up closing, okay, that was 10 grand. So just start looking at it that way. They're not all going to be winners. We're a lot like, you know, I hate to say it, but we're a lot like car salesmen. We're going to go on a lot of test drives.
One of the things that has really helped me, and it's something so simple that I don't even have to leave my home or my desk. I connected with the new home builder, a sales rep last week. I haven't met him in person yet, but I like how he's doing his marketing because he's taking a picture of the home, and these are nice new home builds. They have, some a nice face to it. It has a brick, it has a stone, and 2-story, and some of them are 1-story, and he'll make like a highlight of that home. For example, the one I posted said it was a corner lot. So many times I've been asked for that, a corner lot, and we cannot. I don't believe in the MLS we can filter corner lot on homes. I could be wrong, but I don't think we can. And so, anyways, he puts the rate, he puts examples of what the home payment would be if it was FHA, conventional VA, and then puts a very short description of the home so it doesn't overwhelm. It's everything people want to see in one picture. And it's he does it to where his brand is not on here. It doesn't show what home builder it is, because then you have people that'll just go straight to the home builder. And so then that kind of takes you out of the whole thing, right? It gets you out of the circle. And so he doesn't brand any of it. He doesn't put his name on any of it. He doesn't put the home builder's name on it. And he just does all of this for realtors to be able to market and put it on their own page. And that is what catches so many people's attention, because they're like, oh, for $2,400 a month or $2,000 a month, I can get into that. And that's nice. I like that. And it's a corner lot. And then, of course, the description of the home: 3, 4, or 5 bedroom, office, etc. How much square footage is just a short description. And so people remember things like, okay, she's working, right? Even though for us in a situation like this, I didn't have to leave my desk. I was here at home and I posted it. But they don't know that. They may think I'm the one standing in front of the home and posting all this information. So that has been very helpful. It's one of those things that keeps people top of mind, and it's food for thought for people, because monthly payment stays in their mind, and the picture of the home and what it looked like, and say, okay, that's nice. So that's one of the things that has been helpful to me. And I say that because I've had people come to me later, hey, I noticed a couple of months ago or a couple of weeks ago, you posted a home, and you posted that for an FHA it would be certain amount payment. Okay. And that's all you need to get started with someone. Okay, what exactly are you looking for? Why are you wanting to move? And then you have to build that trust with them, and then the rest is history. You can work with them, and it's something as simple as that.
Yeah, those are all great nuggets. Thank you for sharing. And really, all we need to do, if you don't have a builder that is able to do that, all we need to do is look up the new builds, right? Because like in our area, we don't really have many tract builders. There's Esperanza Homes, there's a couple others, but all we would really need to do is compile some of that media, some of the photos or videos if there are any, or if we go out there and shoot them, and then consult with a lender partner of yours and say, hey, real quick, can you give me a quick payment estimate, what this would look like at this tax rate, whatever the tax rate is, to go FHA, to go VA, to go conventional, using today's rates. And they'll be happy to get you all that information. And you can make a quick graphic in Canva, make something, use Claude or Chat or something like that, and tell them that you want them to create you an image with these figures. Because that's the thing, is we need to be careful, is making sure that the figures that we're putting out, because here's the only thing I know about that, you have to make sure that the numbers that you're putting out are attainable at that time. Okay, so you can't go around saying 1.99% interest rate if that's not available at that particular time. And so yeah, a lender partner can help you with that. I think there is a little disclaimer that you need to put down at the bottom, but just get with your lender partners and make sure, because again, we're not lenders, but people love to know the numbers. That's probably the number one question. What's my payment going to be? What's the down payment? And what's my cash to close? So if we can get that information from a lender, and hey, maybe even co-market with a lender.
I think the new sales reps can give those numbers too.
The new sales reps can. Yeah, they can. So yeah, a lot of good information, a lot of good stuff there, Liz. I like that. And I've seen your posts about that. And I'm glad you're getting some traction with that. That's excellent. So cool. So with that, I'm going to go ahead and wrap up the training session and the meeting. We can go ahead and stay on the call for Q&A. Jennifer, I want to help you with your questions. And then other than that, do y'all have anything to say here in closing?
Wishing everyone a great week.
All right. Y'all go ahead and stay on the call if y'all want to stay for Q&A. And if not, we will see you next Tuesday. Thank y'all for tuning in, guys.